go. Now, what a day, right? What a day so far. Coach Bud, Brooklyn was in the building. High school coach, Ballin for Peace, Slim on the ones and twos. Wait till I ain't even gonna say who that was. They're just gonna see eventually who that was with that one. But this is super for me, H, because this is the first women's high school program that's going to be on the Wavy World Show. Not the last. Far from the last, but we got the Mary Lewis School here. Coach Trev. Now we're gonna just go with Trev, so I could get everything good for our carnival. And respectives, Morgan in the building, one of the players as well at Mary Lewis, and Shiner Visuals. We're gonna talk so much more about that. That's one of the biggest things that I don't care about Coach Trev. It just next year we'll go to carnival or something of those realms. But of course, let the world know who you are, Morgan. You'll get that synopsis as well too. I'll have a great question for you about you guys and your season. So, Coach, you first, and then the young lady.
Yeah, like you said,
and you got great apparel on too.
Thank you, I appreciate that. You know, I try a little bit.
H, large, medium, slim, extra large, pause. Right there we go. All the sizes. There we go.
Nah, I got y'all. As we get things going, I got y'all. But yeah, Coach Travis. You know, Travis Craig is a full name. You know, grew up in Queens, born in Trinidad and Tobago. You know, basketball's in my life since I was like 12
Just tell
years
H2O
old.
what part of Queens.
Yeah.
He can.
Nah, I mean, listen, we actually have history. We grew up together. He just doesn't remember, but we grew up together.
Finish that synopsis after your whole thing. Yes, indeed.
You know, grew up in Queens, from the Montebello area. We grew, you know, over there on that side. Went to 231. Went to Springfield High School. You know, and you know, I've been around. Yeah.
Continue. Go ahead.
Yeah. But you know, like I said, basketball's been part of my life for a very long time. Been playing since I was 12, 13. I started later than most people, you know, but you know, I've had my ups and downs in that journey. Learned a lot in that time. Went to college, went to FIT for 2 years, and then went over to Maritime. And then from by that time, I started playing. You know, started getting injuries and stuff like that. You know, and you know, took it from there.
So who did you play for? Like AAU and just in the tournament?
No AAU for me growing up. I used to just play around the city with like, I guess we could look at the Rifles as AAU back in the day. So I used to be there with them. Used to be with Mr. Melvin and Clarice and Melvin and them, that type of situation. Sometimes, you know, from that point, I started going out to Brooklyn with them, and I met a couple people. I used to play for this coach named Baldy and Duck out in, I think they were from the Star, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not a Brooklyn person. I'm thinking from the Star. But I used to play with them, West Fourth, Rucker. There was the other one that's in Harlem.
Tri-State
Kingdom, those type of situations, you know.
You ever play Elmcore?
Yeah, Elmcore, Utopia, like
Park,
those
John Colson and those
and
guys.
obviously always at the Bello. I live right down the block from that park.
Wow. Yeah. AAU wasn't huge for us. We used to play a lot of tournaments and things like that. So, you know, that was our lineage. You know, riding our bikes to games, you know, playing 4 and 5 tournaments a day. You know what I mean? Africa Park and other places. And shout out to Tony Ramos and everything like that. And then 72, we would all play in those things.
Yeah.
Queens, we had, you know, Ajax Park, you know.
ISA. My people on Southside. I went to school on Southside Elementary School.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to 123 over there.
Okay.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people from Southside. Shout out to my man Eric and D and them.
Liberty Park.
Liberty Park.
I never really. They used to have like the courts were horrible. Liberty Park. I hated it. It had glass on the court. I hated Liberty Park.
You should go now. You should go
I know it's now, but
it up.
I'm not playing outside.
Oh, that's a whole different story. You still play basketball?
A little bit. I dibble and dab. Like, you know what I'm saying? A little Lifetime here and there. You know.
Well, let's speak to the real people that still consistently play basketball. How you doing, Morgan? Welcome to the party.
Thank you guys for having me.
Yes, indeed. Morgan, tell them your name, of course. The school you play for with the lovely memorabilia that we're going to make sure Coach Trev sends us a sweatsuit or something as well, too.
Yes, of course. Morgan McEachern, class of 2026. I play for the Mary Lewis Academy.
There we go.
Proud player.
Yeah.
I've been playing all 4 years of my high school career. I don't know, it's kind of bittersweet that I'm ending the career, but I'm very grateful for like new doors that's going to open, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
4 year starter?
No, but my story was written.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you have some time to explain it, Mrs. Shiner Visuals. And Keith probably can learn some things from you as well too, as he's let it be captured over there. The media life, Shiner Visuals. It's amazing to learn that from you. So just, of course, let them know about that and your platform and what you do. And H2O is going to make sure you have indentured servitude work for some of the events as well too.
Of course. I started Shiner's Visuals my sophomore year. Kind of confused, not really knowing what I wanted to do. My old neighbor, I used to live in Freeport, he had a camera and we just did some camera work in the church in Hempstead. And I was like, oh, this is kind of like interesting. Like, you know, I'm just having fun with it. And I told my mom that like, I think I want a camera. So my first camera was a Sony A7 II. I didn't know how to use it. I was confused. I was just going with the flow of things. And I was still playing AAU my sophomore year with Positive Direction.
Yeah. Shout out to Joanne and Foots.
Yeah. And they're a stomping ground for me. They really helped me get Shiner's Visual on the board. So I shot my first New York versus New York tournament. It was a girls' jamboree. I didn't even have a media credential. I was just there, you know.
Wow.
Just taking pictures, not knowing what I was doing. I didn't know how to edit, anything like that.
Was that last year? Was that
yeah.
the year before?
Yeah, I shot it 2 years ago.
It was okay.
Yeah.
Do you know Shay Days?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, we
of
got to
course.
get her with you. You know,
Yeah.
kind of mentor you.
Yes.
Have you talked to her or
Yes.
anything like that?
Talked
Okay,
to her
cool.
many
So
a
yeah, so
times.
you should definitely tap in with her. She's been on her grind. That was somebody
Yes,
who's
she
coming
has.
up as
Shayla's one of my dogs. I got the personal number right here. Nothing, married, 4 kids. Don't even do that for TV, all right? But not married, but 4 kids and everything. But we can
that's
definitely
what's
make that happen.
yeah.
Yes, of course. So yeah, shot the girls' jamboree. Didn't know what I was doing, and it kind of went up from there. I went to Molloy College, did some work with them as well. They really supported my work, even though right now, like if I look back at my work now, I'm like, what was that? You know?
Yeah.
But to them, it was something that they didn't have. So
Yeah.
I appreciate them for taking me in and allowing me to come to the games and stuff like that. But yeah, ever since sophomore year, it just went up. Time flies. I mean, I would never imagine like where I'm at today if I look back 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know?
But you know, it's scary with that. And then make sure you look through your memory decks because any pictures you have of Slim and H2O, they need them sent for free immediately. Right, Slim? That's usually how it works?
Yeah,
I've tried.
For
You've been
free.
marketing me very well with
What
this.
content? You know,
Yes.
content will collaborate posts and things. Of that
Yes,
nature.
she was so good that I thought she was older than what she was.
Okay.
I didn't even.
I get that a
I
lot.
learned at media day, doing the work that I'm looking. I'm like, baby, don't you do the? And she's like, no, I play here too and coach, and we was all there, and so that's why it was just your maturity and what you're doing in the game is existential. So
Thank
just
you.
keep up the good work, and keep doing what you're doing. We'll definitely, hopefully, see you June 20th, and so on and so forth. So keep it up. And I didn't know you had Long Island ties too. We got to speak about that as well too, and go from
Yeah.
there.
I've been at Crunch Time. I
Several
photographed
times.
you there too.
See-
We were announcing.
There you go. Free
that's
pictures,
what's up.
please. Send me pictures.
What was your first memory of basketball as a kid? Like, what was your first basketball memory? Like,
Ooh. So my uncle was Coach Dave. I don't know if you guys know
Dave
him.
Edwards?
Yes.
Oh,
my
God rest his
goodness.
soul, man.
Yeah.
Greg the model.
So he
Yeah.
brought me to Positive Direction. So I was always around him, and since he was a coach, he actually coached at Mary Lewis too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So that's how I knew about the school. So he just guided me during my young years when I didn't really know what I was doing. So my first memory though, I guess playing with my cousin Jackson McEachern. He also played for PD. Just playing with him when I was young, just being around the sport. I didn't really know what to do. I also played for Premier for some time, but then I went back to PD. So I don't really have a big memory, but I just know being around a basketball. I was always around a basketball.
What about playing? What's your first memory of playing?
Playing, I guess one of my early tournaments in Girl Made in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
That was my first experience playing park basketball. So that was fun. I remember I scored my first bucket there too.
Was it in the wrong basket or?
No, it was in the right basket. It was in the right basket.
It still goes in the books though, right? Right? You still get 2 points might go for somebody
Yeah, it
else.
might go for the other team.
I think it's a bucket nonetheless. That's what's up. That's what's up. So this year, final year, senior year, right? What your mindset going into your senior year? What were you did you talk to anybody? Did you get some advice? What was that like going into your senior year, like leading up into it? I know it was a lot of anxiety as well.
Oh, yeah. Are you talking about like academically, basketball, or both?
Basketball, everything.
Basketball,
just everything.
Okay. I talked to my mom about it and my parents about it. Because of photography and how like well it went for me for my last summer, basketball was kind of on the edge for me. But as much as I love the sport, I know like I just had to finish out my ride. So I talked to my mom about it. I'm like, Mom, I'm gonna finish. Like, even though it may take the time out from certain things I may want to do more than play, I'm still gonna do it because I feel like in my mind I'm just not a quitter. Like, I don't believe in quitting. Like, if I started something, I'm gonna have to finish it. You know.
That's good.
That was my mindset. Just even though the tough times, like where I didn't want to play or like I wanted to quit, I know like I just couldn't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's what's up.
Now, Coach, you got no quitters. I tell you that much on your ball club,
especially not this one.
And just talk about the transition. Coaching. The ladies and the women's program in general in basketball for the ladies have changed over the last 20 years. The women are so competitive on all levels now. We're seeing it in the Catholic League, the public school league, and so on and so forth. Just talk about some of the differences of coaching high school boys and coaching the ladies program and what you've implemented in your program at the Mary Lewis School.
Well, this is my first head coaching job in high school. I came from the AAU sides with the Long Island Panthers on the boys side. And I kind of got this job by accident, right?
2 jobs by accident.
Yeah, it's by accident. It's not.
Serendipity.
There was never a part on my vision board for me to be a coach. Like, I wanted to do something in basketball to give back to my community, but probably something more behind the scenes. Like in my trade, I went to school for advertising, marketing, and communications. So I do a lot of branding and marketing work, right, for telecommunications companies. I've been doing it for like the last 17 years.
Yeah, we need you for ball.
I was waiting for that.
But during like there was a time in 2024, got let go from one of my jobs, and I was just home, on severance, just chilling with my second son, and I was doing some work with one of my guys, Justin Bright, who has Humble Development.
Humble Development.
Yeah. I took my son down to get some training done or whatever like that, and one of his players, which is actually his family member, his cousin, she was getting coming for a training session. And I seen her, I was like, how you doing? I did some work with her, during the camps, during the summertime or whatever. And she's like, oh, I'm getting ready for my senior year, which was last year. And she was like, but they got rid of my coach. Like, my coach is not there anymore. So I'm like, so what are y'all going to do? And I was like, why don't you ask Justin, coach? Justin's like, hell no, I ain't doing that. It's not happening. I'm going to stick to doing what I got to do. And then as I'm watching her work out, she's a nice individual. Was working with her over the last 2 years, and I always said, I was like, yo, it would be kind of dope to like coach her, because she's like one of those like kind of like have like a dog mentality. She just do whatever to win, right? So then I was like, well, I'll just do it. I was like, I got time, and I told that to myself. And then I asked, I was like, yo, let me ask you a question. Like, who are you talking to at your school? She's like, I'm on text with my AD and my principals like all the time. I was like, yo, give them my name. And she was like, so coach is like, you come coach us? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'm already doing stuff on the AAU side. I'm like, that's not a problem. And the reason why I was okay with doing it is because I'm a structured person. I'm a builder, right? If I see an opportunity to build something that is not there, I'll lean towards that versus kind of like being part of something that's already built. Like, I don't like being part of things that's built. I like to be like where the dirty work is at so I can build it up. So when I saw that, I was like, what do they need? She was like, they want a resume. I was like, do they want a basketball resume or a regular resume? She said basketball. I sent them both because I wanted to make sure the school understood that they wasn't just pulling somebody off the street.
Yeah.
So when the president and then when they got my stuff, the president was like, I don't know if this guy knows about basketball, but he has a hell of a resume. He's looking for a job. And then the AD was like, no, there's another resume. And she's like, oh, he does. So I came in, did the interview. The AD like me, got an interview with the president, and it was kind of like, listen, it's up to you if you don't want the job or not, right? And what I realized was now that I'm finally in, I realized that it was a new administration, right? So they were also going into their first year as administration. So they were kind of trying to make sure that things were being done the way that they saw it, right? And the opportunity presented itself. It wasn't something that I was seeking. It wasn't something I was looking for, but I was definitely looking to make sure to do something to give back to my community and help kids out. And I'm always down to help kids out. anytime kids need help, I'm there to help them. So, that's how that happened.
Absolutely.
So.
Listen, Morgan's here. You had another one of your standout players, Ava Thomas.
Yeah.
Talk about Ava, one of the tops in the city and state, and just coaching her. And we would love to have her here today, but I'm pretty sure she's busy and there's a lot of things going on. But just speak about coaching the young lady, Ava.
Nah, Ava is a special human being. Like, let me just start there. Like, I know a lot of times, like, people see, like, all the hard work and talent and kind of like the skills that goes into the game, but like, if you ever get a chance to kind of like spend time with Ava, she's like a really special like human, like a human being, period. I always tell a story about her, but we was walking into Holy Cross last year and, teenagers being teenagers, doing what they do. So all the girls are down at the bottom bleachers playing around. I'm walking in, get ready to game. And I look up in the bleachers and Ava has one headphone here, right? The other one is off the ear. She has a laptop here, a book here, and another book there. And she's like, Coach, give me like 25 minutes. I'm just finishing up my Mattingly test my studies, and I have to finish writing this thing for a paper. Mind you, we're getting ready to go up against like a rival, like a good team. And I'm like, there's no way in hell like somebody who is 16 years old is this focused. There's adults that I know right now that's not that level of focus.
Fact.
I'm talking about like detail. And to be honest, it gives credit to like her upbringing and her parents. They did a really good job raising her and kind of like keeping her on track and kind of making sure that the books and being a student athlete first is the most important thing. But as a human being, regardless of all the talent, like that kid is like a special person. Yeah. So I've had anytime I talk about her, I get emotional because she's really, really good. I had fun coaching her for the last 2 years. She's on her way to Quinnipiac next year.
Congrats.
For free.
Yeah, for free.
Full scholarship.
For free. But she earned that. And it started in the classroom first. She is definitely one of the biggest influences coming out of Mary Lewis for other upcoming girls coming up who are putting their books first and then obviously doing what they got to do on the court as well.
I wanted to also take a jab at H before you answer that question too. Jab. I just wanted to let you know that St. Mary's of Rockville Center beat Christ the King of Queens the other day, but that's just a Long Island Queens thing. You can ask your question after that.
Anyway. So my question to you is, how is it easier or more difficult to coach boys or girls?
It's a good one.
So all right. So this question has been asking me a lot, right? And I'm gonna be honest, like, really. So girls are smarter, right? They're naturally smarter, right? Believe it or not.
Hey.
But believe it or not, the boys from like obviously like teenage boys and teenage girls, they actually have a lot more in common than people think.
Yeah.
I never realized how silly girls are.
Yeah.
Girls are really silly, right? I didn't notice that when I was growing up a lot, right? They do probably 95% of the same things the boys do. It's just that they both of them, they just don't know it. Like, they don't know it. Like there's, if I can tell you stories about things that she does in practice and kind of stuff like that, you'll be like, oh, I coached a boy who's exactly like that. He does exactly the same things, right?
Yeah.
I think the difference is with the girls, from what I have witnessed and seen, is they're actually proving how much of they're more of an athlete than them boys are. They have to carry more when they play, when they have to organize, when they have to get themselves in shape, right? When you talk about, if you want to get into the science of it, when you talk about when you get into their menstrual cycles, they have to deal with a lot more.
Correct.
When it comes to getting prepared to get on a practice court and on a game court, right? It's a bigger preparation, and they have to do all that and still perform. And that's the thing I think people don't understand. It's like they're performing at a high level, similar to the boys. Obviously, take the dunk away, right? The dunk is not there. But when you think about, you just mentioned Christ the King and St. Mary's, when you think about like what those guards at St. Mary's did 2 nights ago or last night, those are elite guards.
Tiana Thompson.
Yeah, those are elite guards, right?
Kayla.
Solomon,
they're
Cabello.
They're performing at a very high level and still having to be a young woman, right? It's a different uphill battle, but it's there needs to be a lot more respect when it comes to the field for girls. Like they're really doing it.
No, I see what they do.
Yeah, they're doing it.
Unrivaled was such a great thing.
Yeah.
At Barclays that just occurred not too long ago. Was that 2 years in the making? And the WNBA might have a lockout. So who knows how that goes right there. So thank God for what's my Liberty player, her and the young lady who put that Unrivaled league together, Breanna Stewart.
Yes.
And who's the other young lady for the WNBA? But they might not be a WNBA league. So I know how the ladies do. They perform at a high level. There's so many good players. Olivia from Christ the King, Olivia. Lou High has 3 McDonald's All-Americans. Savannah, Emily. Yeah. There's so many good. Pinna, Christ the King. Yeah. I mean, there's girls all over the board. Rose Simpson, Brandeis. Did she win that one-on-one thing with that Jordan thing last year? So there's endless amount of female players going on right now in high school.
Yeah. So Morgan, this question is for you. College, where do you see yourself going, leaning towards?
I mean, right now I'm looking more towards the Florida area, but I'm still kind of indecisive because I got to think about like where the best opportunity will be for me, So I want to take photography to the highest level I can. And I love doing it because I'm still around basketball. Yeah. And I travel a lot. Like I just came back from Atlanta. I was down at OTE. I'll be traveling to McDonald's All-American at the end of March too. So I want to make sure.
You're like,
basketball.
Let me just shoot it. Yeah.
But I just want to, I want to eye out exactly where I see myself, where I'm able to be flexible, so where I actually want to do and make sure I'm able to travel.
Coach can help you with those calls too. He can call somebody. Somebody. You training, somebody in Florida. One of them down there.
If there's another young photographer coming up, what's some advice you would give him?
Just stay grounded. I feel like there's a lot of competition out here. Like I call myself sometimes compare myself to other photographers too, but I don't know, that doesn't help me get better. I got to make sure I'm in my own lane. So if I'm telling that to somebody else, just make sure you stay in your own lane. Like you have your own dreams that you want to chase. Everybody else's dream, they're different. But make sure that you know what you want. And if you know what you want, then go get it. Yep. That's what I'm doing right now. There's no one like me right now, 17 years old, as a young woman doing what I'm doing. That's because I'm grounded.
One of one.
So
1 of 1.
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of the biggest reasons. Definitely. I mean, playoffs well too, but we spoke about that. What you do. I thought you were like 25 years old. I'm like, yo, who is that? I'm like, you're playing? What do you mean? You're doing camera shots all over the stratosphere. So, great for what you guys doing and for your program as well too, because you guys have made a lot of strides. I don't think 6 or 7 years ago everybody was going to say anything about the Mary Lou's school, and now, and we got to get you at an event too. We got to get the ladies program at an event. So, Coach, let's talk about this year really, really quick. Morgan and Avon, I'm not the year you guys were looking forward to, but everything is a journey, pardon me, and you're not losing, you're learning how to win. So just talk about the journey this year and coaching the ladies and, the results. It's not always about wins or losses. Results is just anything that comes at the end of the board.
Yeah, of course. I know now that the season's over, I can kind of talk about it honestly. I already knew that I was going into a development year. Losing 6 seniors and losing girls that are been playing with each other since, some of you guys were playing with each other since
we were
middle school, elementary school, right? So they had a unique situation there with all the core girls that were there, which was like Mia, Simone, Ariel, Justine, and am I missing anybody? That's everybody, right? And then obviously, you had Adri. That's basically everybody that left. And obviously shout out to Gabby, our manager. But I knew I was going into a development year. So the core of our team, I took 3 girls who were in middle school last year, right? They were 9th graders, and I had them on a varsity team. And they had to grow up fast, right? They had to grow up fast. There was one instance where, we went out to Christmas Invitational in Florida. I had 5 players, right? I mean, we didn't plan for that to happen, but it happened. I looked at the girls. I said, I got 5. Let's go.
That's right.
That's what we got. That's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
So, we strapped up. We went out there. We did what we had to do. But I already knew that I was going into the development year. And that's part of the process when you lose so many girls. You know what I mean? Like, I'm big on development. I'm big on teaching them the right way. There is, as much as I want to win and how competitive I am, I'm not going to win based off of the lack of their development.
Yeah.
Like their development comes first, and if by them developing I'm winning, then I'm happy with the winning process as part of it. You know what I mean? So like that's what I teach them. One of the things that it was a kind of return this year, because when you've never played, my starting point guard, Penny Moore, she didn't have any real like we were talking about, like the basketball experience. She trained a lot, you know what I mean? But when you talk about the basketball experience of like playing in middle school, right? Playing for AU for a very long time. I'm talking about you go from 8th grade to the starting varsity point guard position, and it's like, you want me to remember what? I gotta run horns. I gotta do this. I gotta run Iverson cut. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why are you talking about the 45 angle? What's this? Like, what are you like? I'm speaking a different language to her.
Yeah.
So but you know, she's one of the ones that came in, and not one time, not one practice, not one game did this child complain. It was just kind of like, actually, the only time that I got complaining from her is when she didn't yell at me, but she definitely she definitely gave me she's a sweetheart. She definitely sent me like a stern text, as in like, why didn't you play me in the Bishop Loughlin game? And I was like, kid, I had to save you from yourself. I'm like, you're literally have 100 and some fever, and you're coming off an ankle injury. And she was so pissed off that she couldn't compete with her teammates. That's the type of person I have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like Penny Moore, like, I don't even want to say give it another, like this summer, like when you're out there, like you're going to see it. You're going to be like, oh, okay, I know. You're going to see what I'm talking about. Like,
well, you can't account for competitive fire.
Yeah,
if she has it, she just has it.
She has it. And she's definitely different. She wants it. And so I'll do whatever for that kid and a couple other players that I have. But, you know, it was a development year, man. Building.
And we could set up a 2-on-2. Maybe Morgan and Penny against H2O and Slim. They can't play no more. Don't think they will not guard and they will not defend. They want to shoot. And after 4 plays, they are sitting down.
I don't lose to high school students.
You sure?
I don't know
Slim?
about that one though.
No,
I don't.
We'll work on it. That's later on down the line.
Yeah.
But listen, we're coming around the final stretch.
Yeah.
City, Long Island, the world. One of the biggest things we always end with, and we'll start with Morgan, is peace. And what does peace mean to you, or where are you at in your peaceful place? So that's a question for both of you guys. Morgan first. What does peace mean to you?
That's kind of hard because peace can mean so many things, you know? But peace to me, I can say just being comfortable.
Okay.
What I mean by that is like everything in life is just going the way it's supposed to be going, you know, and just leading on to things that you're expecting for it to lead on. So that's
amazing.
Yeah.
Coach?
I mean, peace to me, and especially now at this stage, is definitely just making sure you're doing what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like making sure you're focusing on your goals and your dreams and aspirations and working towards it, right? Are you sitting down and jotting down or writing in your phone what you want to get done? And are you working towards that goal? And are you sacrificing towards it? You know what I mean? Like one of the things somebody asked me is like, you know, how do you get time to work, coach, take care of your family, run your businesses? And I'm like, because I want to.
That's it.
It's just because I want to, and that's what makes me happy. So you know, that's what peace is for me.
Absolutely. Listen, and as long as you're winning, then you can't lose.
Yeah.
And you always know, you know, whatever your mantra is going to be. It's amazing, definitely, to have you guys down here. The first high school women's program here on Wavy World. We're setting so much precedence. Mano in the building, my man Slim, the announcer, June 20th, Queens College. That's where we shall be. You guys will be there as well, too. Morgan, you don't have a choice. You're on the payroll. Keith, same thing. So June 20th, that's where we'll all be. Give big love to my man Hector over there, Bronx Tale Studios. Look at him over there. He look like the Puerto Rican Slim Fat Joe over there. With the headphones on. You look cool. You look cool. I see you laughing underneath that. That's all right. Heck, give the music really, really soon when you get an opportunity. Slim's happy over there too as well. Look at them. Look at him over there. That's his happy look. Keith, you got him to smile today. So listen, Long Island, the city, the world, Wavy World, Mary Lou School. It's amazing to have you here, Coach Trev. Morgan, we're gonna sign off.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Appreciate it.